This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're here in Congleton. I'm joined by the man himself, Peter Fury. First of all, how are we?
Good, not too bad. Are you?
Yeah, not too bad. First of all, thank you for having me down here. Got to talk about massive few weeks for your fighters. We've got to catch up and talk about your team. But first of all, Savannah Marshall comes out September 20th. Massive fight.
Yeah, it don't get any bigger, does it? So she's training hard, working hard. Everything's on point. So looking forward to it.
You've been involved in some massive fights. How big is this one in your eyes?
Just as big as all the others, if not bigger. You know, it's big fights. But these are the things where you look forward to. It's what you work for. So all the hard work's making sure it's getting done. So she raises sharp on the night, and then fight week, just sit back and enjoy the show.
There's history between these two. Savannah's the only one to beat Carissa. There's a lot of rivalry. What do you make of that?
0. I'm interested when the bell goes.
Short and sweet. You've been with Savannah for over 5 years. You've got such a good relationship together. How much has she grown under your guidance?
She's grown tremendously, physically and mentally. She's 31 years of age. She's a mature woman and she's ready. She knows what's ahead. She's taking it in her stride. She's 100% confident, and she'll go about her business on the night.
It's a huge platform, a huge event for women's boxing and boxing in general. She announces her name on the world stage on September 20th, Peter.
Don't forget, she's already a world champion, so she's already on the stage.
It's going to be bigger than this.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a tremendous fight, to be honest. You know, I can't say anything more than that. We've got 2 unbeaten rivals, 2 world champions. You know, so it's like I say, it ticks all the boxes.
What type of Savannah beats Carissa Shields?
Type of Savannah where relaxed, the brakes are off, and doing what she does naturally. I think the very best of the best of Savannah, I think beats the best of Clarissa. That's my opinion.
They have been talking it's the boxer versus the puncher. They do forget Savannah's a fantastic boxer, got an incredible amateur career. What do you make of that slogan? But they're boxer versus puncher.
I think they will say that because Savannah's nearly knocking everybody out. But I do believe, she can box, and she'll display both on the night.
And if I have to put a prediction, how does Savannah finish Carissa? What are your thoughts on that?
Listen, this is a 50-50 fight, so it can go either way, But I believe if Savannah does everything what she's supposed to do, that's it. But we know boxing is a volatile sport; anything can happen on the night. That's what makes it so interesting. The main thing I'm looking forward to is a good hard fight, and it'll be contested. And I think the fans are going to see a real blockbuster in this. They're going to see definitely. It'll be a hell of a fight, I think.
There's been lots of talk, but obviously with this fight. But have you even considered where she goes from this one? We'd like Savannah to move up after this fight. Super middle and try and unify all the belts there. But first bus stop is the O2 Arena, September 10th. I have to talk about your other stable here. I mean, the man himself has just left, Hughie Fury. What is the latest on him? Obviously, with the fight that was postponed, the unavoidable. It wasn't exactly a problem which he needed or he wanted. It was something really serious. It was an abscess, then an illness, and he's still even recovering now. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, he's back in the gym, and announcements should be coming in the next 10 days. I think we'll get Usyk-Joshua out the way, and I think Sky Boxer will announce a fight shortly to be rescheduled.
Can we get any inkling on when that would be? You were talking about late September, but any news on that?
No, it's probably going to be towards end of October, something like that.
Okay.
Mid to the end of October, I'd say.
And again, if he beats Hunter, he does go into perhaps box Dubois for that regular title. It is an eliminator. How do you think he comes up against Dubois? First love, we're looking at Hunter. I'm not looking at anybody else. We're one fight at a time, But he gets through Hunter. Yui's in big fights, so all of these fights become available. Not just Dubois, any of the good fights. So they're out there. So whoever he comes to be matched with after that, we'll wait and see.
Also, you've got your stable here. There are many of them behind me. Some of them have left. Just talk about the few heavyweights that you've got here. A few amateurs trying to turn pro. Just talk to me about what's going on here.
Yeah, they're in the gym. They're training hard, and there'll be a few more turning over, and the conveyor belt rolls on.
I can't have you here without mentioning Usyk, AJ. First of all, your thoughts on how you think that one will go.
I think with AJ, it's all about he's just got to get his mental state right, and I think if, and it is an if, but if he can get, let me say in my opinion what he needs to do. AJ's not got to look for the one big shot on the outside. He's got fast hands, and he needs to use his combinations and then put hard shots at the back of them, because you can see 1 and 2 shots coming a mile away. You can't see light combinations and then a heavy shot once you set up your distance. I think once he does that, he could catch Usyk. And I think if he catches Usyk, he'll hurt him, for sure. And the thing is with Joshua, when he starts putting the combinations out and putting them together, it's the ones you don't see, and he's naturally heavy-handed. So I think he could possibly get to Usyk. But if he stands off, or even if he tries to walk him down, throwing hard shots, it won't be enough. He's got to literally be loose, relaxed, box his way in, and find his range there. But from the combinations, I think he could catch Usyk, and if he gets in trouble, Usyk, he won't recover. You've
always been impressed with Usyk, that's fair to say, Peter.
I am impressed with him. I think he's a hell of a fighter, and I'd slightly, I've said before, I would slightly favour Usyk on the last performance, because you'd have to do, because he walked away with a landslide. But this time, it could be different, or, we've seen Joshua hit quite a few times. Is Usyk going to catch Joshua? And we've seen Joshua, he doesn't recover well. So it could be one or the other. I do predict a stoppage in this fight. But I think slightly favour to Usyk. But it wouldn't surprise me if Joshua comes with a knockout.
You mentioned mindset. Obviously, the Ruiz loss, the initial loss, was a big impact on him. Do you think he's ever recovered in that?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he knows, really, there shouldn't be any pressure. He can't go in there, Joshua, with any pressure. He's basically got to say to himself, right, whatever happens, give it my best shot, and that's it. And if he comes with that careless attitude and gets stuck in, he could have a lot better performance.
From watching the first fight, what did you make of what you saw in the corner, and what did you make of him changing the team? It's always good having a fresh new team, but was it the right move in your eyes?
I don't know. It's whatever they want to do, isn't it? It's whatever they think works for them. So I can't really comment on trainers or whatever. I think there was no game plan there. I don't think he knew how to. They just didn't know how to deal with Usyk. So when the bell went, he was just basically going round by round, seeing how it goes. Well, you're not winning somebody like Usyk like that. So they need to have a proper strategy in place. But look, he's a big fella, 6'6" in the air, big athlete. He's got to come in there, cut the distance down, work his jab, get behind his shots, and start landing the combinations, whether they're hitting, missing, or whatever. He's got to start throwing them.
And finally on this one then, I was with Joe Gallagher yesterday, who said if Joshua loses convincingly, if he's knocked out by Usyk, that's it really. We've had Johnny Nelson saying he should retire if he loses. Are there still big fights out there for Joshua if he does lose at the weekend?
There's always big fights out there. Look, I'm not going to mention any names, but we see losses, and I say, look, there's plenty of tomato cans in the heavyweight division. They shouldn't be where they are. I rank a lot of these in the top 10 as useless, to be fair. So that's my blunt opinion of them. They're only there because the promoters has got them there. Really, did he belong there? No. They should be sweeping up the gym in my eyes. So there you have it.
And finally then, One of the fights that was announced last week was Eubank-Benn. Just to get your thoughts on that, there's been a lot of people that have been for, a lot of people have been against it in terms of, Ben's got loads of fights in his own domestic fights, same as Eubank as well, maybe the Golovkins and the people in his weight. What did you make of that firstly when that was announced?
I just, like I say, I think it's too early for young Ben. I think the other one, he's bigger, but not just the bigger. I know he's coming down in the weight and this and that, but it's just that solid experience he's got. He's been around a long time. He's not over the hill, young Eubank either. He's in his prime really, and he's sampling things and experimenting things, but it's all for the better and the good of him. So he's got a lot of layers of experience, which young Ben hasn't. He just hasn't got it. Is it going to be a good fight? Yeah. I think it's slightly, I won't say it's a landslide, but I slightly favour Eubank in it. I think he's just got more irons in his fire to deal with. But that's the only thing I'm going to say about it. He's naturally the bigger man, but coming down on catch weight, so I don't think that's really going to be a big issue. I just see it just on the experience side. But, is young Ben a phenomenal talent? Yes, he is. Is he going to be a world champion? Definitely, I'd say. But it doesn't matter. He can come again anyway. I don't think if Eubank has a loss, it's another matter. At his stage, you've got a lot to lose. But for Ben, no, he ain't. I think he's going to put a good fight up, and he'll conduct himself well in that fight, whatever. But I think on the basis of winning it, I think it's just it's a little bit too early in my opinion.